Mantis definitely isn't a traditional strategist in Marvel Rivals, but she is a true support. Sure, she can heal, but if you're looking for raw healing power, you're better off with someone like Luna, Cloak and Dagger, Adam Warlock. Instead, Mantis shines in other ways, and there are some things you don't even think about or realize that she's doing. The overall value she's bringing to the team. She has a couple ways you can play her. Not one size fits all, but the ways that she can be played are really different from one another. She's a hybrid, part support, part DPS, and I believe when played aggressively, she can be dominant. But that comes with some downsides, and she has some weird things about her kit that you just need to know about and work around. She recently got a health nerf to 250 health from 275, that sucks, but they've added some other new things to her kit that she's now able to do. There's a lot to go through, so I first want to start with her primary attack, Life Energy Blast. Life Energy Blast is Mantis' primary fire. You're launching a single cast projectile with delayed impact. This attack refunds 1 life orb when you land a critical hit, and on paper it seems simple. 55 base damage, which is recently buffed from 50, so that's 110 on a headshot due to the 2x multiplier. It travels at 150 meters a second with this delayed impact, and one of its most important traits is it has 0 damage drop off, meaning it's always going to deal 55 to the body or 110 to the head at base, no matter the range. That sounds strong, and it is, especially since life orbs fuel the rest of her kit. But the frustrating part is actually landing those headshots. And I'm going to fully break Mantis down of why it feels like it does. There's 4 big reasons why her shots feel off, and one of them is obvious. First, like most characters in Marvel Rivals, projectiles don't fire perfectly from the center of your screen in third person. They're offset slightly to the right, so your actual shot trajectory is different from where your crosshair appears to aim. And I'm bringing up screenshots from a previous video showing this. It's meaning that you often just have to shoot slightly to the right or slightly to the top right of your target, because the actual bullet stream can and will connect. Like you see it with Rocket, aiming really, really high, but the bullet stream is actually connecting. The second thing is that Mantis' shooting animation adds another layer of weirdness because she bends down as she fires, she squats. So this is causing a similar thing to Rocket. The projectile is launching from a lower angle, so that translates to you needing to shoot slightly even more upward. So you need to aim a little bit higher, especially at mid-range. Third, to add to her shooting experience, she alternates arms when firing. This is similar with Penny. It is left arm, right arm, left arm, right arm. And this affects the projectile angles more than you'd expect. And the left arm shots tend to miss more than the right, even if your crosshair is perfectly lined up.
Ahead.
You can be aiming in the same spot, the right arm will get a crit, and the left arm will get a body shot. And the last thing, you're dealing with movement. You are moving, the enemy's moving. That's paired with the projectile's travel time. So you do need to lead your shots. You need to adjust on the fly. You need to aim a little bit higher than usual. And personally, I just use a simple crosshair with a dot. I put the code for this reticle in the description and in the pinned comment. At mid-range, aiming slightly higher, I'm using the bottom crosshair instead of the dot focused on the head. If they move sideways, I lead the shot using the edges of the reticle. And the further they are away, the more center you can aim, like use the actual center of the dot. But practice this in the training range. It takes time to get used to, and I'm still refining it myself, but there's a lot of reasons why she's kind of tough to hit shots with. And fortunately, she has one of the best ammo counts in the game. You get 20 shots. Natural Anger consumes 1 life orb and grants a damage buff for 8 seconds to herself. This is your F or B circle on controller. This effect doesn't stack, but recasting it refreshes the duration. So you press the button, consumes 1 life orb, and for 8 seconds you get a 12% damage increase. This brings the body shot from 55 to 61.6 and the headshot from 110 to 123.2. This means 2 headshots deal 246.4 damage, just under the 250 hit point threshold. And as I talked about in the previous video, if you're standing in Storm's Thunder Aura, which adds another 10%, the headshot goes to 135.5, meaning you can 2-shot with 271 total damage. That's massive. Mantis becomes extremely lethal when boosted because it's big damage with 0 damage drop off. Those are 2 key things. So the rule is simple, always be boosted. You want those 123 plus damage headshots all the time. And even getting the boosted 62 body shots makes a huge difference, again, because they have no fall off. Let's talk about Mantis' healing flower. Her right click, left trigger on controller, this ability consumes 1 life orb when you use it, lets you toss a flower that grants allies healing over time. Now it recently got a buff, its duration is 8 seconds per flower, but now you can chain them back to back for up to 16 seconds of healing. So it'll max at 16 seconds, but you need 2 flowers. You press the button, you throw out the flower on an ally, and the flower just sits on the ally for 8 seconds, could be 16, but here's what it does. There's an initial burst of 55 healing, then it heals for 20 health per second, over 8 seconds. So a total of 215 health from one flower across 8 seconds. And if you stack 2 flowers back to back, it works like this: 55, then 55, so 110 burst healing. There's 20 healing per second for 16 seconds, so 320 healing. The total is 430 healing across 16 seconds. Now that sounds great, really good, but the big catch, it's over time, 8 seconds or 16 seconds. And you can check who's affected by which flower on the bottom right of your screen. Green means healing, blue means damage. I'll get to damage after this. But this is super important. Keep this in mind as you're playing. Mantis is a proactive support, not a reactive one. She doesn't have big burst heals like Adam or Luna. If your teammate drops into critical health, especially a Vanguard, they're in trouble if you're their only healer, because you're going to need multiple flowers just to bring them back. And even if you can bring them back, you're relying on the 55 burst heals. They're going to throw 4 flowers, and that's just 220 healing. And by then, it's probably too late. You're going to burn through your life orbs, you're not going to have any cooldowns or leaves. She just doesn't have the tools to clutch heal like a true strategist. So that's why Mantis is better at starting the healing, not finishing it. She's setting the stage. After she throws that flower and gets the healing going, someone like Adam or Luna or any other strategist, they're there to top off the rest. Because once you've thrown that healing flower, that's it. That's all she can do. You've done your part. You're not going to sit there and reapply flowers over and over. That's not how she works. Or at least works well. You could do that, but it's going to be awful. She has 2 flower types, one for healing, one for the damage boost, and honestly, you're going to be using the damage boost one more often. But right now, you just need to know the healing flower is over time. That's all it does. And it's minimal at that. It, quote, keeps them healthy. It doesn't necessarily get them healthy. So how to use it properly, be proactive with it. If your Vanguard or DPS, like let's say a Spider-Man, is about to dive into a fight, throw them a flower before they go in. Possibly even 2. That way they get 16 seconds of constant healing. That way, they're getting 20 health per second in the opening moments of the fight. And the real healer, they can worry about topping them off from there. That's the play. You're going to see the fights unfold. You're going to see them coming. Give the flower to who needs it. Then the job switches to the other healers to top them off. So either right before the fight or in the very opening moments of the fight, you're going to give them a healing flower. And as we move on to the rest of her kit, Mantis is best when she's ahead of the action, not reacting to it. And if you do play her as a pure healer, you're in for a bad time. She just doesn't have it. That's also going to reflect in the end game healing numbers. Her numbers are always going to look low, but her value isn't topping the healing charts at all. It's everything else she brings to the fight. Think of the healing flower as an addition, just an added bonus to what she's actually trying to do. Allied Inspiration is your E, top left bumper on controller, and consumes 1 life orb to grant a teammate a 12% damage boost for 8 seconds. Now the effect doesn't stack in strength, but it does stack in duration, like the healing flower. If you use it again back to back, you can extend that buff to 16 seconds of that 12% increased damage. The value is in duration, not double potency. When you give your ally a damage buff, you're enabling them to hit important thresholds. That's where Mantis can shine. Like, very few heroes can give a direct damage boost through an ability. I mean, Storm is one, but she doesn't offer a full 12%. And the 12% matters more than you would realize. It allows Widow to one-shot 250 health point heroes. It allows the Thing to eliminate 275 health point heroes like Luna in 3 haymakers instead of 4. It lets Hela 2-shot 300 point heroes. While Star-Lord's in their ultimate, Star-Lord can one-clip a 275 health point enemy with this buff. Without it, he can't. It boosts Squirrel Girl's Acorn to 123 damage, which is a good jump. It goes on, but beyond making your allies kill faster, improving their TTK, it's also helping offset damage fall off. But importantly, it's giving your allies more ultimate charge. More damage equals more ult charge, especially with headshots. So this ability is assisting your team in a way that's fundamentally different from other strategists. You're like a true support, but you're enabling your team's DPS potential while putting out high damage yourself, because you have your own self buff. Now, like with the healing flower, Allied Inspiration is best used proactively. If you have a Widow on your team, give her 2 damage boost flowers, let her go, do her thing. Maybe a dive, Spider-Man, Iron Fist. Throw 2 damage flowers and a healing flower, let them go do their thing. Or let's say in the middle of a fight, if your team already has healing on the front line, maybe a Dagger, Loki, whoever it is, you can focus on giving the front line a damage boost instead. Just let everybody do their own thing. And keeping in mind, you're going to be firing too. You're going to be self-buffed. If, let's say, a Punisher is about to ult, or a Star-Lord, give them a damage boost and a healing flower right before they engage. Personally, I follow a 2-to-1 ratio, 2 damage flowers to 1 healing, and the other one is saved for myself. So with all 4 flowers, 1 is for me, 2 is for damage buffs, and those damage buffs could be on 1 ally, so they have 60 seconds, or 2 allies, each with 8 seconds, and then a healing flower on whoever is the most aggressive. You land your headshots, you get the life orbs back, and you repeat. If there's no other healer around, it's just you're going to be using the healing flower more often, but that's just a temporary band-aid until the main support returns. But at the core, Mantis's power is this, giving damage boosts while dealing boosted damage herself. That's what sets her apart, and that's what you should focus on if you really want to maximize her value. That's why you play her. The Spore Slumber is one of her most important tools. It's on a 15-second cooldown, and when you throw it, it deals 10 damage. It's got a 3.5 meter radius. When you hit an enemy with it, you put them to sleep. They're sedated for 3.5 seconds. Now, once sedated, a purple illusion pops out behind them that has 100 health. So when you see a teammate that has slept like this from an enemy Mantis, you destroy that illusion and it breaks the sedation. That way they're not there for the full 3.5 seconds. This is a stun lockdown, and it's really good for Mantis because, say you're getting dove, you land the sleep powder, you should be boosted, and you can get off at least 2 clean shots, 246 damage. And it's great for a number of things. Defense, even offense. A lot of enemies are taking damage, or they took damage, so you can sleep them, line up your shots, and take them out. It can also CC ults. You can sleep a Star-Lord, Spider-Man, Scarlet Witch. It's a very straightforward ability, but it has that 15-second cooldown, and it's such a good ability that no matter when it's used, offense or defense, it was a proper time to use it. Her passive is Nature's Favor. Receive a movement boost when not injured and healing over time when consuming a life orb. So at the start of spawn, you haven't been injured, she moves at 7.5 meters a second when in this state. But this is more so about the self-heal now. Whenever you use a life orb, you get 12.5 healing per second. It's not the best, it's not the worst, but it is self-healing. It lasts for 8 seconds, it can be refreshed. It just flows naturally with her kit. As you're buffing or healing allies or buffing yourself, you're giving yourself self-healing. The other passive is Nature's Soul. It's the team up with Adam Warlock. It's a 120-second cooldown. Adam allows Mantis to cocoon, meaning after death she can self-revive. And that's why these two work really well together, even beyond the team up. Because at the start of the match, one of you goes down, you can come back. For the enemy, it's like having to take out 4 healers, if there's just the 2 of them. But on top, Adam is perfect for Mantis as far as healing, because as I talked about earlier, Mantis gets the ball rolling. She throws a flower, that's all she can do. It's healing over time. Adam has the burst healing to top them off. It's a great team up, just a great duo in general. Her ultimate is Soul Resurgence. It's your Q on controller, click both sticks in. Releases energy around her while moving, providing healing over time and movement boosts for surrounding allies, and excess healing converts to bonus health. So it's like a band-aid support ult. It gives you and your allies just a one-time 200 burst health. It heals over time, and you get up to 150 over health, like bonus health. It's like a little jolt in fights. It's like a little zap. It lasts for 8 seconds, and that's it. You and your allies get a 3-meter movement boost. So a lot of characters move 6 meters a second, they'll move 9 meters a second. And if you want to get really crazy with it, have Storm with you, and they're going to pop their Wind Goddess boost. That stacks. She adds 20% to allies, so you and everyone else moves 10.8 meters a second, and Storm herself, she zooms at 12.6 meters a second over double speed. The ult is okay. I mean, you're going to use it like any other support ult, but it's just not as strong. It's a great push ult to move into an area. Not necessarily defensive, but it is used that way a ton. And you're going to use it just like other strategist ults. As a strategist, Mantis has a lot of luxuries, and I think that's part of the reason why they did bring her to 250 health. She has no damage drop off, she has raw damage, high damage, meaning she has solid ranged pressure, and she can also defend herself. She has a sleep. That alone just makes her unique, but what really sets her apart is that there's multiple viable ways to play her. A lot of players treat Mantis like a traditional support. I mean, healing constantly, throwing all of her flowers into allies, getting some headshots, reapplying more flowers. That way everyone gets the steady 20 health points a second. And yes, that does work. You can do that. She can actually put together decent numbers if you only do that. And as a matter of fact, that's like the only way to have high healing numbers with her. But the truth is, that's not using her full kit. She's capable of way more than that. And in the end, other strategists like Luna or Adam can simply just do that job better. They can. More effective, I should say. And for Mantis, the most effective and honestly the most fun thing to do is to play her as a battle Mantis. That's the core playstyle I recommend. You don't have to use the exact 2-to-1 damage to healing flower ratio I like to, but the idea is to focus more on the damage output, and the job is helping your team do more damage while dealing solid damage yourself. And again, as I talked about, I start by boosting myself. I throw a couple of damage boosts. That could be to the same ally or 2 different ones. And then I'll toss a healing flower to one, or I'll just keep it and save it when needed. As Mantis, the more headshots that you land, the more life orbs you're going to generate. That means the more flowers you can throw. So she really comes alive when you're consistently hitting headshots. though the devs have made it tough to do so. As you're playing, it's more mid to back line. You're going to pay close attention to who's on your team and what they're doing. If you've got heroes like Black Widow, Star-Lord, Black Panther, Spider-Man, they all benefit massively from that damage buff you can give, so boost them. Keep them up, and they'll carry fights with you, not for you. And there's also another high-level playstyle that's been used recently by some of the best teams in the game in the recent Pro Tournament. Mantis pairs up with a single strong DPS, and those two become a roaming duo. Think of Mantis and, let's say, Bucky, Mantis and Hela, Mantis and Mr. Fantastic. I mean, there's some gameplay. Like, they're going to be moving as a pair hunting together. With Mantis there, she's keeping both of you alive. She's also damage boosting both of you, and you're going to collapse on targets together. It works incredibly well, but that setup is going to require a second support like a Loki or Luna, possibly Adam, who's okay focusing on healing both tanks if you have a 2-tank setup. And if there's a full 3 support comp, it works great too. But even outside of a calculated duo setup, say you were going to do the roaming duo with Bucky and Mantis, and it falls apart, that's okay. No matter what you're doing in the game, the principle still applies. If you're playing and you see a Bucky, a Punisher, a Namor, whoever pushing forward, go with them. Throw them a damage flower. Throw them a healing flower, boost yourself, shoot the same target that they're focused on. It's one of her biggest strengths that she can do that, supporting a DPS duel by turning it into a 2v1 in your team's favor, and Mantis has the tools to heal and deal more damage. She's really, really good, and at the end of the day, nothing's set in stone. The point of these guides is to help you better understand them, see what's possible, and then make it your own. One thing is clear though, if you want to get the most out of her, healing isn't your top priority, because she's not your average support, but that's exactly why she's so powerful in the right hands. She thrives when you stop thinking of her as a healer and start treating her like the hybrid that she is. Part support, part damage dealer, because whether you're boosting your team's damage, setting up sustained heals before a fight, diving with a DPS to swing duels, Mantis rewards players who play proactively, not reactively. And if you do that, she's going to bring consistent value in subtle but impactful ways. And when you lean into that playstyle, she becomes one of the most versatile and underrated heroes in Marvel Rivals. So master her rhythm, and you can turn her into a core piece of your team's success. And one of the main things you can do is try to get her headshots down in the range. That's one of the biggest things holding a lot of Mantis players back, and it is tough. Like I said, I'm still working it out. But the better you get with her, get those headshots, the more she can do overall. If you're new here, remember to hit the subscribe button, and if you are subscribed, thank you so much for your support. Let's talk about Mantis down below. What are your thoughts on her? And of course, share any tips that you have down below. Gather as much information as you can from here, Reddit, other videos. Be the best player you can be, help each other out. Thank you for watching, and until the next one, I am CoolGuy.